paper. So if you see, maximum marks is 100 and the total duration is 150 minutes, right? So that is 2.5 hours, and the maximum time for answering the questions is 120 minutes. So if you see in the bottom, it says that part 1 is 25 questions English and 25 questions general studies, and part 2 is maths and the reasoning, right? So which I will cover in the second video. So let's start with, so first part is the English language. So right, you can see that each question carries 1 marks, and there are 25 questions like this in the English language section. So if you see this page specifically, it is more of a your vocabulary section. Most of the questions are plain vocabulary. So if you prepare well for vocabulary, this section is what easily you can get. And there is questions like what this best expresses as, and the answer is that particular word, right? So it's quite easy. And this is the second page for the English or the vocab portion. So you see here, there are questions which has again related with sentences, and where one answer is correct or 2 and 3 are correct. So there are the answers which have multiples, right, and the multiple statements, and you have to find out which 2 statements are correlated, or 2 or 3 of them are the correct ones or the related ones, right? So you have to clearly read out all the options and match the codes, right? So you see the lot of questions which are related with the codes part of it, right? And some are the misspelled, right? So what is the correct spelling, like 15th one, right? Gymnastic, greediness, guidance. So you have to choose the one which is misspelled, wrong spelling, right? So similar questions are there, and let's move to the third page. Now these are the last set of questions for English. So the misspelling or the correct spelling question continues in this page. There are questions related with your grammar portion at the 17th, and then the sentence making statements like 18th, and then there are questions like is to, right? So corona is to virus, food poisoning is to what, right? Which particular. So there are similar comparisons or analogy questions from 19, 20, 21, 22. So a lot of analogy questions are there, vocabulary questions are there, sentences questions are there, right? And the completing the phrase questions. So 23, 24, 25 are the some of the idioms and phrases questions. Now this is the start of the general knowledge section, right? So again, a lot of general knowledges you see on the screen is the one which is related with the government or with the taxation, your economics part of it, right? So a lot of questions you see on the screen is more towards the economics part of the general knowledge, and this is not the static but the current general knowledge. So you should be updated with the government rules like GST, other council acts and the other finance bills which gets presented every quarter or every year, right? So those last 3-4 years data should be important here. Now in this page of GK, you see a lot of questions which are related with country specific, like related with the for example, the issues with or the fights between the countries. There are general, these are the global general knowledge questions, right? And a lot of them have for example, the pet coke, like one which is more of a general knowledge related with the chemistry subject, right? Rather than and then it may be from subjects related to chemistry, physics, and biology as well, right? So these are mixed type of general questions, and these are the static GK which exists mostly, right? And it is not based on the current affairs. So you have to prepare like that, and lots of portions of physics, chemistry and biology has to be correctly prepared well, right? So this is the portion, and if you see, this is a another set of GK questions, again continuing from mix of across. So first 2 questions 40-41 are more like an economics related questions. The 42-43 are more like a civics or the constitution related questions. Similarly, thing is 44 is the constitution. Article 131, which is 45th question, is also constitution questions. So a lot of this is the civics questions which you see in this page. And the further the GK questions, so 4 questions here are more towards the particular government laws, right? Again, it will be covered under the civil or economics or the politics category of questions where you should be aware. And it is a mix of mostly static and dynamics, or the static and the current affairs part of the GK. So that's all I'm covering in this video. So 50 questions, you saw the mix of English as well as GK. The next 2 sections will cover math, reasoning and the mathematics, which I will cover in the next video. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe so that you can prepare well for the PGCET examination, and this paper is for PGCET 2020.